I'm TJ and this is Life Lessons. You know, recognizing me, it's still me. The hair is just different, but it's still me. I keep Mr. Randolph guessing all the time. But at any rate, this statement is in response to the video that I stated where someone suggested that the Yarbrough family was race baiting. So in that video, I said what I said, and then this person writes, again, in all caps. Let's get etiquette, shall we? Black people were not the only ones that suffered racism. We did too. So I asked, who is we? And she said, we the people. Who else? Again, who is we? Now, let me tell you something. I'm aware of the Trail of Tears. My grandmother was a baby as her family went through it to Oklahoma. Okay, I'm aware of that on my mama's side. I also am aware that there are other groups have experienced it when they came over, you know, through Ellis Island, all that. I know that. But if you try to suggest that the other groups experience the same to the level, please don't. Please don't. I'm going to ask you, please don't. Now, I am not so honed in or zoom in to suggest or think that everything that happens to me is because of race. I'm not. But I am not so aloof that I think that some of the things that I have experienced as well as those that my family have experienced are not a result of discrimination due to race. For example, about 10 years ago, my then, at the time they weren't married, but my son-in-law was fresh out of college, looking for jobs. Again, because of my background, I helped him with his resume. You know, HR background, helped him with his resume, looked over it. And because he was saying he was applying for these jobs and not getting the job, not even getting an interview. So I said, well, let me take a look at it. So I did. I said, let me tell you something. It's your name. Because to look at your name is to let them know immediately that you are black. I need you to change it, just this little portion here. Take off this portion here. He was incredulous. Well, why do he's proud of his name. His parents gave him that name. I said, I know, but this is what I need you to do. Trust me. Same resume. Same. Only change the name based on what I suggested. Start getting interviews. Been working ever since. I've sat on promotion boards in the military. Record with record. Couldn't figure out why this one got promoted and this one didn't. I either looked at the name or I looked at where they went to school. So please don't. Please don't. And I might add, that was the time that photos were taken out of the record. So all you had to go by was what? The merits. To quote Pete Hickson. But the merits of this one over here spoke volumes to this one over here, but this one got selected and this one didn't. And I couldn't understand why. So I started to look, it was either the name or where they went to school. So please don't. So that's why I'm going to say yet again, when I call out the things that I see that I deem that are that would be inappropriate as I speak to the conduct of my people that look like me, do not think for a moment that that gives you license, not necessarily you, to think that I am suggesting that all is fair in this thing called the United States of America, because it ain't. I got plenty of examples. You ain't lived long enough to know the examples that I have. Okay? This is just one.
I think they would reinstitute Jim Crow.
Absolutely. And I think the Supreme Court is well on the way to doing that.
There ain't no fuss. I'm just here trying to register the vote. Beside the Constitution's preamble, you know what a preamble is? We the people of the United States, in order to phone. I'm more perfect. How many county judges in Alabama? 67. Name them.
And just in case you want to know what that movie was, that was Selma, wherein Oprah Winfrey played Annie Lee Cooper. Okay, a real civil rights activist who attempted to vote in Alabama during the 1960s. I keep telling you I was born in 67. I keep telling you Mr. Randolph was born in 65, the same year of the Voting Rights Act. I keep telling you that the people who put those games in play are still here. Y'all call them grandma, grandpa, great grandpa, great grandma, uncle, aunts, what have you. They're just a little bit more cunning now. A little bit more cunning. So please do not come over here with the foolishness. I ain't got time. You go play with your mama. Go play with your Atari. Go play with your PS5. Don't play with me. Please don't. But even given all of that, it does not control the way I will govern myself on any given situation. But I would, because see, the way that you get over is with your mind. And that is why I'm telling y'all, you need to make sure your young people are reading. Today is May 13th, 2026. I'm going to tuck this away. Should it come down that they employ some literacy tests, you're going to know I said it first. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.
So I'm still getting people saying stuff like, oh, black people aren't the only ones that experience racism. I already made a video on that, but I guess I got to clarify a little bit more, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I know there's a lot of people out here that just want to learn, so I have to clarify. First off, I want to say again, sub to my YouTube because you know they're sensitive here and I post everything I can't post here on there. And I'm going to start a podcast soon on my YouTube. My TikTok, Instagram account, my main Instagram account is going to be easier to contact me here. I'm not going to see it here all the time. Anyway, let's continue. The Asians, the Arabs, the Mexicans, the Indians, they experience racism too. You absolutely right. Y'all keep telling me this, but tell me how they treat my people in their country. Tell me that. So even in America, my people are treated the worst. We're treated the worst. Look throughout history. They broke my people apart. Did they break anybody else's people apart? No. Mexicans are always going to protect their people. Chinese people are always going to protect their people. Indians are always going to protect their people. Why is it only us that's fighting each other? We not looking out for our own. When you see mixed babies, it's majority of our people dating outside their race. I'm not saying it never happens when other races don't date outside their race, but majority of the time you see mixed babies, who is it dating outside of their race? It's us. We was taught to not like our own. So they broke us apart. They made us not want to be with each other. We're treated the worst in this country. We go to any other country, we're treated the worst still. No matter where you go on this planet, we don't have control of the economy. We don't have control of the system. So tell me, why when I'm talking about how my people experiences racism, y'all trying to make it a competition or something? Like I'm not trying to make this no competition or anything. Like this is not no game. I don't understand. If you're asking a question, I get it. You want to learn. But the people who have no idea what we got to go through is talking like they know what they talking about. Like when I said, y'all don't got to go through the stuff we got to go through, I meant it. I got to wake up every day with this melanin and this hair of wool. I can't speak for everybody else. What I do know is that y'all don't even come close to experience what we have to. Stop trying to make this a competition. And like I said, even if y'all experience racism here, which I do, I'm not going to lie about it. At least your people have control over a system in their country. We don't have control of a system nowhere. That right there separates this by a long shot. Just the truth. Peace, peace.
Honestly, there is nothing as annoying as seeing some of these white people trying to claim that they also went through slavery. It's a whole lot to deal with. It's a whole lot to deal with. And that's why sometimes I feel like I can personally catch these people. Let them really understand what slavery is all about. Whenever you want to talk about slavery, the first thing you will hear is, we also, we, like, I don't understand. But anyways, let me just roll out the other clips I have for you guys before I have to say what I have to say. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And with that being said, let's dive right into this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
Assume that because we're white, we don't experience racism. And coming from a white woman, I'm only talking about my own perspective. I can't speak for black people. I can't speak for any other race except my...
You know, about 10 years ago, my best friend, who was white, called me up. He said he had just got an account with this bank and they immediately gave him a loan. He called me because he knew that I had a better paying job and I had better credit than him. So I said, yeah, I am looking for a new car. I think I'll go check it out. I went there, I got an account, and then I inquired about a loan. Now I'm working with this older white woman, and she immediately tells me that I'm not qualified for anything. So I leave. I come back about a year later with 2 jobs this time. And I'm greeted by another older white lady. She tells me that I'm still not qualified, that she needs to see more from me. So I leave. I come back a year later, this time with the best job that I've ever had, that paid more than I had ever been paid before. Also at this time, my friend is getting his second loan on a car. She looks at everything and says that she needs to still see more. So I said, you know what, forget this. I'm going to do it on my own. So I go out and I buy my first brand new car. High interest and all. A year later, I come back to get it refinanced. And I'm greeted by a younger white woman. She takes a look and she sees everything that I've done and tells me that she just needs to see more. So I leave. About 6 months later, I decide to try one more time to get that car refinanced. This time I'm helped by a younger black gentleman. He takes a few seconds to look at everything and immediately approves me for that loan. I wonder why. Tell me as a white person when you've had any experience like that.
Right now, there's been a lot of white influencers who are getting exposed for their racist pasts, and I have a different think piece that I want to share with you all, but specifically these women getting exposed, since I feel like it's a bit of a different perspective than other people have been sharing. My name is Alexis. I went to a high school with predominantly white people. Some of these people have actually gained their own platforms on apps like this since high school. So I wanted to share my story specifically because I'm a good representation of the kind of lives you guys destroy with your racism. Growing up, my sisters and I faced horrible racism from people that would now say that they are anti-racist, that they are vehemently against racism, but that doesn't change our childhood. We've experienced things like getting photos drawn of us by our classmates with them pointing weapons against our heads. We'd have football games where the students would make the theme whiteout and write posts like wear your natural skin color, or when our games were in predominantly black areas, they would make the theme riot shields and police gear. One time I had to sit in an auditorium of my class chanting Bob Ewell, the name Bob Ewell, which is the character in To Kill a Mockingbird that lynches the black character, and that was the book that we were reading in school at the time. I'm still clearly very traumatized by this. I've had people call me names and draw parallels to me and the black victims of unarmed shootings by the police at the time. One time I walked into lunch a little bit late. Right where I sat on my lunch table, there was a swastika drawn on my seat, and this happened every day for a week. And it's I was terrified to go to school almost every day. This was also during a period of time where there was a lot of mass shootings going on in America. And I can't even describe to you the terror and anxiety. Every day I was having a mental breakdown and having to go to the nurse's office. Every day I had to go to the principal's office and report a new thing for them not to do anything. I even had to go all the way to going to the police because people were calling me slurs and threatening my life. And no one ever did anything because racism is not taken seriously. By white people especially. Racism is just not taken seriously at all. I'm very grateful that nothing happened to me, that everything was all just talk or just to terrorize Black people, I guess. But what people don't talk about and realize is like how that will affect you emotionally as a person. Like, I think what happened to me as a young child has impacted my life so deeply, so emotionally. Like, I feel so emotionally terrorized. You can see it, hear it in my voice, and I will never be the same. It has affected every relationship I've ever had, the relationship that I have with myself, the way that I see myself, and the way that I think other people see me. It's truly, I like wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It's something that I'm gonna live with forever, and it's so heavy, so heavy. And I think just the message that I want to say about situations like these of just like white people being racist in their childhood as like a phase, you affect real people, and you being racist puts such a trauma onto the people of color in your life that they're going to have to deal with every single day until they die. What that means is if you have to apologize or feel guilty or feel like shit every single day for the rest of your life for this racism that you grew out of, that is what you deserve. If you're a white person and you're looking into my eyes right now, hopefully you can see the pain of what your racism in childhood, how that impacts real life Black people, because it's like racism is not just a concept, it's a thing that you are employing onto a real person. I hope that you feel guilty for the rest of your life, because I feel traumatized and emotionally vulnerable for the rest of my life, and I didn't deserve that. So much of the conversation has shifted into these white people, oh, they've grown, they've changed, they see the importance of Black Lives Matter, they went out and protested, they donate money, they've educated themselves, and that's great and that's so important, and I hope that this message doesn't detract from the fact that we should be doing that. We should all be learning more to educate and rewire our brains out of, you know, these racist thinking and tendencies that we have. But along with that message, I hope you know that if you feel guilty forever, if people out here are making you feel guilty about these things that you've said for the rest of your life, that is justified. Because we are going to feel this way because of your racism that you have now grown out of. We were the collateral damage of that, and we are going to feel this way forever. I'm very glad that you've changed and you've learned and you feel like you are a newer, better person now. But whenever you get frustrated or upset for people bringing up things that you've done in the past that were racist, that were unkind, and you're like, oh, why can't people just let this go? Like, I've addressed this once. Can we shut it down? No, we should be able to address it forever. Forever. And you're just going to have to live with that. You have to live with the fact that your racism impacts other people for the rest of your life. It's not something that should even be done begrudgingly. Like, you should do that with as much ease as you were to be racist when you were younger. That's the least that you can do to be accountable for your actions and the way that you hurt other people. Because the frustration that you maybe feel from people bringing up the unsavory parts of your past, the parts that you feel like you've grown out of, it's nowhere near the frustration that I feel for having to go through that due to people like you. Thank you for hearing me out. I hope you feel bad about what you did forever.
I'm just gonna say it, right? If more people, more white people would stand up against racism, we could probably get it to damn near end, y'all. I'll stand up for it. I know racism isn't right, but I need more white people to jump on this train to help me take a stand against racism. There are white people out here, y'all, that's got people thinking that we are all racist, when that is not what's going on. So we have got to put a message out to take a stand against racism. Like, I will start it off. I don't care. I will stand alone in it if I have to. But if you're a white person and you're with me on this, help me push the content out. There's only one way to do this, and it comes with just being in unison. That's the only way. There is power in numbers, y'all. I don't care if you're Black, Mexican, Indian, Asian, whatever it is that your race, ethnicity is. You don't have to be white for me to like you. And everybody else that feels this way, I need you to get on this train right now.
Black people know things white people don't. Before I go on, you can check my video notes for the references I used to create this video. Generations of white Americans were raised with a story that made us feel like heroes. We learned about abolitionists, not about the banks that provided insurance on enslaved people. We learned about the civil rights movement, but not about the white mobs who terrorized black families for trying to move into a better neighborhood. Systemic racism didn't just hurt black people, although they were the ones that took most of it, but it also misinformed white people, and that pisses me off. It trained us to see unfairness and injustice as progress. That's why when black folks talk about redlining, medical racism, or why certain laws hit their communities so much harder, many white people are just confused, or worse, and probably more commonly, they're defensive. It's not just ignorance, it's conditioning. The system made sure we didn't see the whole picture, because once we did, we might start asking too many questions. White people need to hear the truth from people who live it. But that takes a toll on black people. They've had to survive what we've only begun to learn about. And it's not fair to put that burden on them. That's why I study, listen, and talk to other white folks. It's not about guilt, and it's not about blame. It's about repair. Black people already know this history. White people need to know it too, because it's our history. It's our history too. Silence keeps the system working in the way that is unjust. Don't be afraid. You should be mad about what was kept from you on purpose. Now you have the opportunity to learn about it and start organizing your life differently. I am not an expert, but I love learning. You can put my username into your search engine. Scroll down if you want to help me out. You guys are the greatest. Get curious.
Who is we? No, who is we? Let's just be honest. You know, one annoying part of these white folks is trying to justify slavery as if they went through all of the struggles that black people literally went through. For crying out loud, black people were lynched. For crying out loud, black people were segregated. For crying out loud, black people were meant to be in the field, picking cottons. Some of them were in the breeding plantation, breeding babies. How many white folks bred babies? How many of them picked cottons? How many of them went literally through the Jim Crow laws? The moment you're trying to say something about racism, these people look for every single means to justify the act and make it look like black people are overreacting. We still have descendants of slaves, even up to date. That the trauma still lives with them. Even when slavery ended, enslavers were paid. People that, not enslavers, sorry. People that owned slaves were paid when slavery ended. And do you know the annoying, stupid part? Is the fact that slavery never ended in Mississippi. In Mississippi, slavery never ended until 2013. I did that video here. I was shocked to my bone marrow when I started seeing the clips that I went to do my research, and I found out 2013. So when some of these white folks come up with the thing of we, you people are not the only one that went through slavery. You people are not the only one that suffered. We also suffered too. Who are the we? Because every single thing that you people are passing through in America today is as a result of your racism. You have chosen to put someone that look like you. And that is why you are suffering. It is okay and understanding that you don't know the depths, the in-depth of what slavery is all about. So I think it is best for you to keep quiet. Because if you want to dare a white person, just talk about slavery. Just talk about slavery. That is where you see a lot of them flooding your comment section and giving you the history of slavery that they literally do not know anything about. And that is why a lot of them don't want to buy the idea of reparation. A lot of them will tell you, I did not own slave. I never enslaved anybody, so I don't owe you reparation. As if those reparations were taken from their own hands. It's that bad. Slavery was never a fun thing. A lot of identity was stripped off. A lot of people lost their value. A lot of people did not even understand their left from their right even when slavery ended. Even till date, we still have the results beating us. And that is why I keep saying it, slavery has not even ended up till date. We now have modernized slavers. Was it not just last year we saw some people picking cottons and picking beans? Some black people picking beans. And the moment the white man saw that, they literally started asking questions. He ran off. And you want to sit there and tell me that slavery has ended? We should forget about slavery and move on with our life? How? How? That's the question. How? Let me know what you think about this video. Credits belong to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in this episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, commenting, sharing, dropping super thanks, and also joining my membership. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.